What's up, family? Man, I want to have a heart to heart with you guys today. Fear. Fear. The truth, because fear is a natural reaction for many of us. You know what I mean? Fear is natural. And yet the Bible tells us so many times not to be afraid. The Bible tells us not to fear not. You know what I mean? Stay with me. We're going to go somewhere. And it's the truth because the Bible tells us over and over and over not to be afraid and to fear not. And yet, fear is a natural reaction. Fear is a natural self-defense mechanism. It is also something that can shut you down. Stay with me. It's not so much that we shouldn't be afraid or that we shouldn't be fearful, but what do we do when that fear comes to us? What do you do when you become afraid? See, fear just comes to you naturally. You see something, you hear noise, where there's gunshots, you turn around, look, fear, you get startled. There's nothing wrong with healthy fear. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. It's what you do with that fear. Many of us, man, will get stuck. Many of us will lose our voice. Many of us will lose the power that we have. And what I mean by that is we won't walk in our power. We won't use our authority over certain situations because we're fearful. We'll allow these motherfuckers to get in our ear with the yeah, what they gonna do to us and we'll do with the woo and how they gonna da, and we get scared. And we surrender our power over to them. We cower down afraid of what they're gonna do. We get all these motherfuckers on so special on social media. These motherfuckers just need their ass beat. Man, but we get all these motherfuckers on social media talking about whoop and they and they bigger than shit and and motherfuckers ain't never been in a fight in their fucking life. But they get on and they're these fucking bullies. They get on and they're hurt and they're traumatized. And so they want you to be scared of what they're gonna, man, I'm gonna fuck up your reputation. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna tell these motherfuckers about that. They want you to be afraid of them. Oh, we're going there today. We're going there. I'm just laying the groundwork. They want us to be afraid of them. These motherfuckers don't know who they fucking with. We're the chosen ones. And I know I get all these Christian people always trying to tell me I'm going to hell and what do. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Hell can't be no worse than this. That's your fear. That's your bullshit. That don't move me. That don't scare me. And if the truth be told, they ass ain't scared of fucking hell either. Because if they're scared of hell, they wouldn't be doing the bullshit they doing. Oh, we're going there today. We're going there. It's going to sound like a rant. It's going to sound like I'm mad. I'm not mad. We just have a real heart-to-heart, passionate conversation. We got to grow the fuck up and understand who we are. We got to grow up. We that are chosen. We that are God's people. We that are connected to God. We got to grow the fuck up and understand who we are. We got to walk in our fucking authority, walk in our fucking power, and stop being intimidated by these motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck what their title is. I don't give a fuck how big and strong they think they are. Ain't none of these motherfuckers walking this planet the size of Goliath. I'm gonna say it again, in case you missed it. My little throw rug just fell down. But ain't none of these motherfuckers on this planet the size of Goliath. David wasn't a big person. And David took out Goliath. Goliath was this giant walking around, had the children of Israel intimidated, had them shook in their fucking shoes and their sandals. They were scared as fuck of this giant. David, this guy who wasn't a soldier. David, this guy who wasn't combat ready as far as military. David, this untrained kid, knew who the fuck he was. David, this untrained professional, knew who he was connected with. And he took out Goliath. Why the fuck are you walking around scared of these motherfuckers? I don't give a fuck who he is or who she is. I don't give a fuck how much money they got. So you know the story. Children of Israel, they're leaving Egypt. Egypt was the most powerful nation on the fucking planet at the time. Let me say it again. Egypt was like the United States, the most powerful military on the in the world at that time. Egypt was. Children of Israel, they're leaving Egypt. Was there 400 years as slaves. They got the wealth of Egypt. The Egyptians gave them all the silver and gold. Just get the fuck out. Go, go, go. And then when they realized what they did, the Egyptians in their chariots, in their military, came after the children of Israel. They were pursuing them. They were hot on their fucking heels. God opened up the water, allowed them to walk through, and the Egyptians died. Stop being scared of these motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck what political party they're associated with. I don't give a fuck what music industry, what family they're associated with. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Know who the fuck you are and stop walking around in fucking fear. I talk about this story all the time. The disciples are out on the water with Jesus. They're in a boat. Jesus down in the bottom of the boat, knocked the fuck out, sleep. It's dark. They're trying to cross the lake. And the waves come. The wind picks up. A storm comes. See, we know about storms. We've been in storms our whole fucking life. We know about the darkness and not being able to see at night, not being able to see our way through the storms. We know about that shit. We know the fear that comes with that too. Add the fact that they're on the water, unshaky foundations. The waves are picking up, throwing the boat around, crashing up against the boat. Everybody on the boat gets scared, except for Jesus. Jesus didn't get scared because Jesus knew who the fuck he was. Jesus didn't get scared because he was knocked the fuck out sleep. And everybody's tripping. Man, we're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're gonna die. And we'll do all the bullshit, we do. They go wake Jesus up. Jesus gets up and like, man, how long you motherfuckers gotta be with me to understand who the fuck you are? How much do you have to see me do for you the motherfuckers to realize the power you possess? Why the fuck are you motherfuckers scared of a fucking storm? You see me raise the dead. You see me do. You see me bring the dead back alive. You see me turn 5 fish and some bread and feed thousands and have 12 baskets full left over. You see me do all these things and you motherfuckers are still scared? What the fuck do I gotta do to get you to stop being fucking fearful? What the fuck do I gotta do to get you to walk in your fucking power? What the fuck do I gotta do to get you to recognize who the fuck you are and who you connected to? See, so many of us, we talk the spiritual shit. We talk, man, I got my crystals and man, I'm saging and I'm doing what to do and I'm meditating and I'm da 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 da, and you still scared. You still walk in fear. What if this don't work out for me? And what if I don't get the job? And what if I get fired? And what if I lose my house? And what if this man leaves me? And what if this woman leaves you? So fucking what? Let they raggedy ass fucking go. If that job collapsed, so fucking what? Understand who the fuck you are. Understand everything is always working out for us. You guys heard me say that a lot. Everything, every motherfucking thing is always working out for us. Why the fuck are you scared? Why the fuck are you intimidated? Why are you acting like a fucking coward, afraid to say some shit? Because you don't believe everything is always working out for you. Because you don't believe you are who you say you are. You don't believe that you have the power that you have. You don't believe in the God you say you believe in. You don't. You can't. It's impossible for you to believe in God and believe that God is intimately connected to you and you walk around in fear. You can't do it. That's impossible. That's impossible. To believe in God and be intimately connected to God puts you on a certain frequency. And for you to operate in fear puts you on another frequency. Fear disconnects you from God. How the fuck you believe in God? How the fuck you believe you are who you say you are? You're a chosen one? You're a healer? You're a light worker? You're a child of God? You've been called and anointed and appointed for your job, for your position, for the task that you have to do? You've been chosen for this journey? How the fuck you walking around scared? Oh, this is a wake up message right here. This is call to action. Man, the fuck up. Woman, the fuck up. You say you ain't afraid? You say you ain't scared of nobody? Okay, start talking like that. Start walking like that. Start living like that. See, it's a thing that when you're not afraid, when you're not intimidated, man, that's empowering. That's threatening to a whole lot of motherfuckers. Motherfuckers get scared of you. Motherfuckers are afraid of you. Why? Because you're not intimidated. You don't give a fuck about all the bullshit. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. What the fuck you gonna do? And when you have that, man, that's so empowering. That's so liberating. Fear enslaves you emotionally and a lot of times physically. Fear stops you from walking your purpose. Fear stops you from speaking the truth because you're afraid to step on somebody's toes. You're afraid to offend somebody. Man, I don't give a fuck. You get offended, you get offended. I don't give a fuck about it. That's your shit. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You don't like the way I talk? I don't give a fuck. You don't like the way I look? I don't give a fuck. You don't like I rock crystals and I'm tatted up and whoop whoop. Man, I don't give two fucks. Ain't a motherfucker out there intimidates me. We have to grow up. We have to understand who we are. We have to understand the power that lies within us. I can't even talk. We have to understand the power that lies within us. There's a reason why the scripture says, "Greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world." Greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. And what is that saying? It's me. I'm him. I'm him. I'm it. I'm connected to God. I'm connected to the power of God. That makes me God. I'm a representation, a reflection of God. And I know a lot of motherfuckers don't like to hear that shit. And again, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. That's their issue. They ain't got shit to do with me. We're afraid because we don't know who the fuck we are. I'm Bishop so I'm Evangelist so I'm Deacon so I'm Evangelist. I don't give a fuck. I'm not impressed. God's not impressed. That's not moving nobody except for the people that are intimidated and impressed by your fucking status. But motherfuckers that want the truth, motherfuckers that want to heal, motherfuckers that want to grow the fuck up, man, we don't give two fucks about your bullshit. We just want, are you going to give us the real? Are you going to be completely transparent and raw with us? Or you going to sit there in your $3,000 suits and your nice dresses and makeup and all this other shit and try to impress us with your intellect? The ignorant, they love that shit. The weak-minded love that shit. The superficial love that shit. But those of us that are connected to God, those of us that know the truth, those of us that are raw and real about this shit, we don't give two fucks about the shit you talk. It sounds great, but it ain't changing nobody's fucking life. It's emotionally appealing. Oh, they preach. It was a great sermon. We're still talking about fear. We have to grow the fuck up. We have to understand who the fuck we are. And when you understand who you are, you go walk around like David. I don't give a fuck about these giants. Give me a couple fucking rocks. Y'all motherfuckers all suited up and booted up, got your fucking shield and your sword and your helmet and your breastplate and all this. Man, just give me a couple of fucking rocks. I got my slingshot. I'm good. I don't give a fuck how big he is. I don't give a fuck about how many people he killed. I don't give a fuck about his training. I'm not that motherfucker that's walking around in fear. How the fuck you gonna lead the people and you scared? How the fuck you gonna deliver the people and you scared? How the fuck you gonna help the people and you're intimidated? We gotta grow the fuck up. We have to grow the fuck up. And I'm not talking about walking around arrogant. See, when you know who you are, that's humbling. When you know who you are, you know the power you possess. That's humbling. Why? Because I know what can happen to you. See, I know what God can do to you. And you may not be impressed. You may look at me like I ain't nobody. You may look at me like I ain't shit. And that's okay. But I know the God that I'm connected to. I know the power that resides within me. And that's humbling because I know how that can fuck up your life. I know how that could change your life instantly. And so it's humbling. It's humbling. We have to grow up. We have to understand who we are. We have to stop walking around in fear. I see so many people. Man, the world is coming to an end. And look what's going on, and the weather, and the politicians, and the war. Who gives a fuck? What the fuck can you do personally about this shit? You must not understand. There's always a remnant left behind. There's always a remnant that's been saved. There's always a remnant that knows the truth, that preserves the truth. There's always a remnant. The problem is you're scared because you don't really believe you're part of the remnant. You don't really believe you're part of the crew, the elect, the chosen ones. And so if the stock market collapsed and the dollar collapsed, and everybody didn't die when the Great Depression came. Everybody didn't starve during the Great Depression. See, if you believe God like you said you believe God, why the fuck you terrified? Why the fuck you scared of that shit? If war pops up, if you believe God like you say you believe God, what the fuck are you doing walking around scared? Why are you scared? I served in the military for 12 years. I know what atomic bombs can do. I know what nuclear war can do. It is what it is. It is what it is. Why the fuck are you scared of that? I was at the beach the other day and this gentleman walked up to me and he asked me about this lady getting bitten in the water. And he asked me if there's sharks in the water. I'm looking at him, we're talking about fear, stay with me. And I looked at him and I said, there's always sharks in the water, it's the ocean. He was like, but you can't see them. I said, look at those people over there, they're fishing. I said, can you see the fish in the water? I said, you can't see the fish in the water, but they're pulling fish out the water all the time. But you can't see the fish. Just because you can't see the fish don't mean the fish ain't there. Just because you don't see the sharks don't mean the sharks ain't there. It's the ocean. Where do you think the sharks are gonna go? He said, but aren't you scared to go in the water? I said, why? I said, sir, I get on the subway. He said, yes. I said, I never see anything happening on the subway. I never see anybody getting attacked. Ever. I never see anybody getting stabbed. I never see anybody getting robbed. I never see any woman getting assaulted. I never see anybody getting pushed in front of the train. I never see anything. Not that I want to see it, I just don't see it. It's never going on around me. He said, I ride the train every day. This is what I'm telling you. I ride the train every day. And people are always getting hurt. People are getting robbed and stabbed. Just because I don't see it, don't mean it doesn't happen. But I'm not going to walk in fear because it's not around me. And even if it was around me, I'm not going to walk in fear because I know who I am and who I'm connected to. I said, sir, you get on the subway. Do you not? He said, yes. I said, you know people get hurt on the subway. Correct? He said, yes. I said, okay. We had one lady get bit by a shark. And this is the first person to get bit by a shark in over 15 years. And you're now scared to go in the water? Because one person got bit by a shark in over 15 years? And people on the subway getting stabbed and killed and thrown in front of the train and robbed and da on a daily basis, and you still get on the train? And he looked at me and just started smiling and said, thank you. That makes sense. Now, when I go get in the water, I'm going to remember what you said. We have to stop being scared. I understand it's a natural reaction. It's a natural emotional reaction. But we have got to learn how to control our emotions and stop allowing our emotions to control us. And that's the problem with the great majority of us. We allow our emotions to punk us. We allow our emotions to dictate how our fucking day is going to be. We allow our emotions to dictate how our fucking life is going to be, instead of us controlling our mind. We got to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Man, there's so much more I could say, but I'm going to leave it here. Man, family, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys being with me on this journey. Happy healing. Peace.